Hey guys, Dan Howman back with another Inariel Legends video. Today, we're going to be going through some updates on the tier list. I've spent a lot of time updating the tier list, making it look pretty, adding functionality. We're going to go through some of that and talk about what I will be adding in the future, etc. I have been getting a good amount of views on the website. That's been awesome. I really appreciate that. I made $11 last month, which is freaking sweet because it covers the hosting cost on the website. That was my goal, as sad as it is, but I just wanted to really make this tier list and everything to help the community. There's not a huge community for this game, so I know tier lists are extremely useful, especially because you need to invest a lot of materials in each one of these heroes, and you want to know which ones are really good before. Now, this is not my sole tier list. I have, collaborated with a lot of people in the game, moderators, big spenders who have tested all the heroes, etc., to make it as accurate as possible. Let's go. So if you go to danheilman.com, link is always in the description, as well as a link if you want to try the game. Use my link below if you want to download the game. If you want to re-roll on an alt, use those links below. Really helps me out. Do appreciate it. So, if you go to end game tier list, the first selection here, I have redone this completely. Now what I've done is I've added the attack to the main page here. So now you can even sort through all of the heroes, who has the lowest attack, who has the highest attack. Ho Yi, Grace actually, and actually where is Benson? He's way down here, a little bit lower attack. I think he was nerfed a little bit in the last beta. I added all of the pictures and everything. It automatically is sorted from total score. So this is the total average of all the scores. The higher the number, the better. 10 is amazing, 7 is good, 5 is average, 3 is bad. So I have ranked it in all of the different areas. You can sort each way. You can sort using class, you can sort using rarity. You have the collection heroes, the SSRs, and the SRs down below. So, let's begin. Now, what I have also done on this is you can press this plus button over here on the right-hand side. And what this does is it opens up a new little menu here. You can see their attack, health, and armor at max level 240. It's not really the max level, but it is the only way I can get a comparison between all the heroes. I actually made a new count. I didn't unlock any of the heroes because when you have the gallery unlocked, there is no gallery in the game. So you have to have 0 heroes to be able to view the whole gallery and see the stats of everyone. So that's how I did it. I made a new account, but I've also added exclusive weapons and notes. So I've been trying to add some specific notes. Guan Yu is an amazing frontline warrior that can tank, self-heal, has a block death mechanic, extremely rare and useful, as well as having some decent grouping and stun skills from his exclusive weapon. This hero is a top priority. I'm trying to add notes for each hero like this. I have notes for the collection heroes. Apparently you can just click them. You don't have to click the plus. I just found that out just now. Benson, for example, amazing melee DPS with a block death and lifesteal. The problem is he's a collection hero. So he will need to be immortal or maybe even eternal so you can unlock his weapon before being able to be using him. So do not invest in him unless you're willing to spend $2,000 or more. That's kind of my general rule for all of the SSRs. Unfortunately, they're very expensive and it's really hard to get them free to play. So I find that $2,000 spent in the game goes a lot further if you focus on building SSRs instead of building the collection heroes, because $2,000 you could get probably, 4 to 6 SSRs to immortal, and otherwise you would just get one SSR. So I'd rather have the SSRs versus the collection heroes, but that's just me. Now, in terms of priority, so if I were to go here and say rarity and only do SSR and SR, so just kind of exclude the collection heroes because for most people they will not be viable. This is literally my priority pretty much. I think I would put Betty, I would probably build Betty before Anna just because you get Benny sooner in the game, right? You get her in the very first week, you get Guan Yu in the 3rd week, and you get Anna in the 4th week. So my priority would be work on Betty for a while. Then once Guan Yu drops, go all in on Guan Yu. Honestly, his exclusive weapon is also really important. So I would go all in on Guan Yu's exclusive important. The front line is just so important in this game. It's insane, right? You just get crushed if you don't have a good front line and you just really can't progress, right? If your tanks get one shot you're pretty much just dead, because now they're going to go in there and they're just going to eat up all your DPS and everyone else. So you really do need to focus on your frontline heroes first. So that is, you know, part of the reason why Guan Yu is listed so high, but it's also because you can literally use him in all the content in the game. He's amazing in story, amazing in Dragon Seal, because he can deal some damage, and he's a tank. You know, Arena, Demon Fortress, all these, he's very, very good. So, you know, definitely Guan Yu, #1 priority. Betty, you definitely want to work on before Guan Yu, because you have the first 3 weeks. You can go all in on Betty in the first couple of weeks, then move to Guan Yu, then move to Anna. Anna's a really good AoE damage dealer. Baldur is pretty solid as well. I find Baldur does a little bit more damage, but Anna adds the CC and stuff like that, and she also has like a shield that helps her stay alive. I find my Baldur dies very easily. He often gets targeted, and he just can't handle a lot of hits, where Anna has that shield that kind of helps her out. So yeah, that's kind of my build order. Then after that, we don't really know what's going on. If you do want to see like what banners we have, you know, what the banner order is, right now you can see week 1's Betty, as I was saying. Week 2, you can pretty much skip. You can grab 1 copy of Edward if you want to, but Daji is a little bit better. But Daji is a new hero, so you may not be able to get her depending on when you start the game. It has this same, go through this and read this so you understand it, but basically what happens is the first 3 weeks are set in stone, and then you start getting these new hero banners. So Daji was the first new hero we got in global, but depending on when you started your server, it could be whatever the new hero is. Daji is currently still the new hero. We don't know what the next new hero is, but this means new hero to the game. I think Daji was not even in the betas, so that's important. You know, and then on is week 4. Week 5, you do get Betty again. So this will give you an opportunity to build your Betty even more. You probably do want to grab 1 copy of Anthony, just because he is a pretty solid tank. However, again, you need a lot of copies to use these guys, right? So if you have, you know, like a mythical 1, you know, I've got a lot of copies of him already, but he's not eternal. I feel like eternal's kind of like your first breakpoint for where you can use heroes, and then immortal. So yeah, that's how that is working there. Let's go back to the tier list and kind of just finish talking about what's going on. So if we go back to the tier list and we kind of remove the SSRs, the SSR collection heroes again, because I think most people are going to be kind of ignoring them. We'll kind of just continue going down the line here, but you can see that assassins are not quite as generally useful as I keep on wanting to call them hunters, but they're called rogues in this game. Rogue is an assassin in my mind, so that's kind of funny. And elemental is really a mage, but yeah. So Luna, don't prioritize her. She just gets overshadowed by the other ones. Natalie, you'll get randomly through different rewards. She's an okay tank, but as soon as your Dan, for example, starts getting higher evolution, he's just going to be better than Natalie, because Natalie's an SSR, so she's going to be harder to get extra copies of her, but she's going to be good. Kind of the same boat as Joan, right? Joan and Natalie are kind of these heroes that you can get copies of them a little bit easier in the game. You know, if you're like a low spender, for example, they have these daily recharge, which I have been grabbing, that are really solid, because you get 10 fragments for either of these. So I used this system to grab these. There is also something in the weekly bundles right here where $50 you can get basically a copy of each of them for $50. So they're a little bit easier to build than the other SSR heroes, because the other SSRs cost $100 per and they cost 50, or even cheaper if you use the 10 per day. But anyways, these two, I think Joan's great. I still use Joan a lot. I kind of skipped her, by the way, but I think Joan is quite amazing. I use her a lot. But again, she's an SSR. So if you're free to play, you're going to be caring more about these heroes down here. But as like a spender, or eventually, you know, once you get many weeks or even months into the game, you'll start building these SSRs, even as a free to play. You do need a lot of copies. You need 10 copies to get to Immortal, 20 copies to get fully maxed out. So you do need a lot of copies. But yeah, let's kind of just continue real quick. Daji, great assassin, a little bit better than Edward. Edward, you get access to for everyone. So I think it, you know, some people might build him, some people might not. I have some of their exclusive weapons. I do talk about, you know, a little bit, you know, generally what we got going on for each of these. You know, decent beginner tank, has some nice CC, good in PvP. no longer has a block death, blah, 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 etc. So I guess I should have opened up all these as I read through it because it has a lot of my talking points. But anyways, now getting into the SRs. Now we have Jerry for endgame, going to be quite useful. Basically decreases the defense of the enemy. So he's going to be quite solid. Icy has a nice debuff as well, does decent single target damage, has a nice debuff that basically, you know, here you increase the analyze enemies bonus damage taken to 25. So it keeps on analyzing the enemy, means they take more damage. For bosses, that is quite useful. Maya is probably underrated a little bit. I have this because it's an end game tier list, but in the early game and mid game, she's top tier. She's really good. Maya is. I guess I have that here again. Yes, I keep on saying what I think, and it's already in my notes. But yeah, Maya is amazing early game, and mid game is an AOE. She can even be used as a debuffer. So you can even use her in this. What is the name of this first content? Demon Fortress. You can even use her in Demon Fortress, and a lot of people do use her. I still use her. Then you got Bobo. You got Milo down here. You know, Milo, just his damage. He just not a priority, right? You know, Bobo's kind of weird. He is an SR, but he comes from purple shards, not yellow shards. Just kind of a weird hero. The dude is super squishy. He can deal good damage, but I just have trouble keeping him alive, so I really don't use him in a lot of content. I kind of just use him as a filler. Milo I have not built at all because, you know, everyone is kind of saying worst SSR in the game, easy skip, wait for other heroes, etc. Thera I actually use a lot. I think she's a solid hero. Healers are not amazing in this game, but sometimes you just need a little bit of extra healing. I actually find the dragons to be better healers than the healers. So the dragon that you get from some of the PvP stuff, this girl right here, this white dragon, she's a better healer than Thera in some content. So just take that with a grain of salt, but sometimes you need filler heroes. Shuri, good assassin. She's the only assassin in the game who has any lifesteal in her kit for some reason. She also has immunity when she uses her ultimate, so she can block some abilities as she teleports. Anthony, I kind of just put some random stuff in here because I don't know anyone who has him fully built. I don't know how good he's going to be end game, so I kind of just put what I think he's going to be at. I still got to talk to some people and get an updated on this for those players who have already built him. But currently he's the best tank in the game in terms of survivability, right? Guan Yu is still a higher priority by far because he deals damage, he has lifesteal, he has a block death, etc. This guy has some mini heals, but he doesn't have a block death, unfortunately. Skade apparently can do some decent damage end game and should be kind of your third priority in terms of rogues if you have Betty and then Icy first. Hortus, just okay. He has like this bleed type mechanic. Again, no lifesteal, so it's hard to keep alive. That's my biggest complaint about all assassins right now is no lifesteal in their kit, no block death, and no way for them to keep themselves alive. So you have to kind of rely on healers and dragons to heal. Mia, worst healer. Quasimodo used to be the best mage, now kind of the worst. You got John and Warren, pretty much unusable. John just locks himself in place and kills himself. Can't do anything. Dude's absolutely useless. Warren, I hate playing against Warren because he has CC and he gets back into my backline and stuns and kills all my heroes. But when I try to use him, he's useless. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So I just want to go through the tier list again. I wanted to show everyone my big updates. I totally redid this tier list. If you didn't notice, it is totally different than when I did it than it was before, right? I added the pictures and I added all this drop down stuff. I added some more stuff. I'm going to take some time to add some other stuff in here. I'm also going to be working on a tier list for exclusive weapons because you know, I haven't seen one like that. And I think it's a little bit different, you know, for priority. Like Guan Yu should be #1 priority all the way up to 6. And I think that's really strong for him. But then like sometimes you just want one copy for all your other SSRs so they're usable and then focus on this. So yeah, other stuff coming. I'll put some dragons in here in the tier list as well. I see a lot of people are using the website for Inariel Legends and not really Watcher of Realms. So I think I'll focus more on Inariel Legends for now, but that's it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, if you want to try the game, go ahead and use my download link below. And then if you want to try, the website, the tier list, feel free to, take a look. And, if you see anything that's way off compared to what you think, just let me know. You can contact me in Discord or whatever. But that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, hit that like and that subscribe button if you are enjoying the content. That subscribe button and that like button and leaving a comment really help out the channel, so I appreciate that in advance. If I've earned your trust, definitely hit that subscribe button. Have a great day, everyone. See you guys.